Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Benjamin Breaker Novotny, and we are about to dive into our match between Dignitas and Astralis. This is, I guess you could say, your alternative English VOD for the ESL Barcelona Invitational, but we're already diving into the knife round between both sides. As you can see, we have Dignitas basically blatantly coming out on top in this, and the the bets on CSGO Launch are stacked against them, 30% to 70 last I checked, and I feel as though this is a match that they're going to, they've got a chance at winning this, a modest one. I did miss a lot of what the analysts were saying just a few moments ago, but without further ado, we're finally diving into the game, and they have the ability to determine which side they are going to start this on. I'm wondering if that's going to be their doing or their undoing. But Mirage is going to be our first map. And it seems to be one of the more frequent picks out of all of them out there. And one thing that's kind of just irking us all a teeny bit is the fact that we can still hear the voice of the casters in the background. They are blaring through the speakers, which are also kind of more or less going to help us pick up on the audience and their reactions to the plays that are going on in-game. But let me just check over here and make sure, alright, everything is just dandy with this. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But we should be diving into the pistol round very shortly now that the knife round has been concluded. One thing that kind of irks me, again, a little bit, besides the casters in the background, that voices we can hear, would be we haven't seen every single knife round that has taken place in this weekend event. And thus far, we've seen the defeat of two Spanish teams as well as Vex. They were eliminated yesterday. I'm sure I might have missed someone else who was eliminated, as I basically... You're not going to find all of the VODs on this YouTube channel, really, but that's because I got too tired to cast the ones that happened later on at night. So here we are, guys, about to dive into Astralis versus Team Dignitas. Hold on your butts, ladies and gentlemen. We are now about to get started. There it is. Pistol round has begun, and that's a big rush up middle. MSL is able to catch on to this, but he's also lost a huge chunk of health. And that's some information we don't have immediately because there's a slight observer bug. It always happens, but even after switching through two different players' observer cameras, we are unable to see how much HP they have unless we look to the right or left-hand side of our screens. I'm sure it'll be taken care of momentarily, but it'll have to wait until after this round. At the moment, CT's not far outside of their spawn. It's going to be Zipnix who's going to get Config's head, stopping the rotation from Sniper's Nest to jungle. And now we've got KRB looking to enter for the retake. Gets the headshot onto Kerrigan. You can hear the reaction of the crowd. They think that's a little bit stunning. There it is. KRB just, oh my god, with the triple headshot, he steals this out with a quadra for the round, and that was just amazing. Really, what was happening was the penultimate frag there. What I mean to say is the second headshot he had just made before getting the one on our last guy there in jungle it was basically, the reason why that player didn't rotate was because he was waiting for the second rotation to come out of CT so that he could go in there, but it totally flipped its head. There it is. KRB gets Kerrigan, fires one at someone else just before Dupree, and then finally steals things out with a headshot onto Zipnix. So basically, players banking on the field of views that other players are using and not looking in a certain location are two of the reasons why that happened just now. 3 versus 2, total misplay coming from Team Dignitas, perhaps. Well, not Dignitas, but rather Astralis. Dignitas will be taking the first round. And this is already, the first post-pistol round is absolute massacre. Basically, it goes very smoothly for our Danish team. And on the whole, they've got a pretty solid start to this match thus far. It's going to be, just slightly incrementally more difficult, but Astralis, that was because last round was a complete eco, and now they have made a buy that's meant to reset Dignitas' present position. They do have the superior weapons for the most part, better buy coming out from them, at least when we're talking about dueling, rifle dueling. They don't have so much in the way of utility, whereas Dignitas comes out on top. So Astralis is really banking on this round to go their favor. There again, doesn't catch on a KRB there. And his rifle was revealed. I mean, KRB just had to get ready for the headshot, and then it was all smooth sailing from there. MSL takes down Dupree. Dupree not looking in the right direction as he enters, but the entry into bomb site A seems to be going rather smoothly at this moment. Bomb is planted, and they've got about 30 seconds to work with as of this moment. Config missing the initial shot with the scout, getting the secondary, but Zipnik's able to come out on top in that duel. It's going to be Cage and B taken down by Tensky, and that's the rest of the team annihilated. We've got Dignitas coming out on top again with, I think, 3 guys left on the board.
Doesn't work out for a great defense so far by Dignitas, and they are taking the fight to Astralis right now. They look like they're starting a little bit slow.
On the whole, this isn't really too bad for Team Dignitas. They've been forced to rebuy on some of those weapons. Some of the players do have quite a bank, while the others are close to broke. Just look at config there. They do salvage the AK-47s, and it's going to be Quadra Deagle buy and a single P250 coming out of Astralis, as they have basically faced 3 rounds in a row with defeat, and that's going to be just Rubino getting a double kill here at mid and connector. He's looking to make a 3rd one at underground, but that's going to be, yeah, Rubino finishing it off. An attempted steal by a teammate, but 5 men still alive, and this is where this is where Dignitas really start to put money in the bank as a team as a whole, because they didn't even drop a single guy there. So this is starting to, I would say, somewhat gradually get out of control for Astralis. They just need to stay calm and pull things together now that they've got a full buy round. Device, really, the only problem with him is he doesn't have any utility with what he's got for the round at hand, but he does make the opening frag of the round. Makes a secondary, and that definitely turns the momentum in favor of Astralis at this point. So the question is, they can choose which bomb site they're going to go to now, but which one is it going to be? And this is almost a complete unanimous rotate back to bomb site B coming out of Dignitas. Is this a total mistake? As we look at the minimap, I don't think it's a mistake. But at the same time, it's still a 4 versus 3 situation. Slightly in favor of Team Dignitas, or excuse me, rather Astralis at this point. Both teams sporting Danish flags. Excuse me. And I do apologize for the late start for those of you watching the live stream right now, because today there was some technical issues with Tensky getting a double kill, looking for that triple, switches to the deal, gets a triple, just short of the quadra. Device will finish him off. Device now gonna scramble to get that bomb planted. Like, that was just all of that just now in apartments was a complete turnaround, but it looks as though Astralis, oh my god, no! Device missed the final shot, and that's going to cost his team the round. An expensive win nonetheless for Team Dignitas, so I don't think the bank is going to be too fairly big for them this time around. Kind of resets the cash just a little bit, but it's almost like David and Goliath at this moment with us going into 5-0. Again, not optimal trading coming from Team Dignitas at that, or rather Astralis at that location. MSL gonna open things up at mid, looking for something to shoot into, wondering if it's going to be blind fire or not. No one's really pushing up mid at this moment, but we do have a couple who are just short of apartments. Tensky blind firing through, does manage to take the head of a Device, and that's going to be Kerrigan coming in, getting the refrag. That's the Opper out of commission right now. This could actually be the round where Astralis comes out on top, maybe. I mean, it's hard to say, like, which is more important, falling down, the Opper or the top fragger of the team, but the Opper has the potential to be the top fragger if he's on point and on site, making the plays happen correctly. KRB now extending out through A. He's about to run into someone at CT. He can hear the footsteps. Kerrigan's just kind of poking up there. He's carrying the bomb too, so if he gets shut down, bam, there it is. Kerrigan finds it, and that's going to be Rubino getting another anti-entry frag. KRB getting, again, once more, another anti-entry frag. Is he going to steal us out with a triple? No, Zipnix is going to come out with a double. We're going to be seeing him now trying to play for the bomb plant. 40 seconds to work with. He can go either A or B at this point, and it's entirely his choice. He's now doubling back towards bomb site A, but I'm pretty sure Team Dignitas might have a solid read on this. He's going to be passing by Config, and then we've got Tensky watching from CT spawn. Smoke already tossed towards a main. 20 seconds to work with. It's now or never. He has to go in there. And unfortunately, it looks like that was an execution coming out from Tensky, if I read that correctly. Here we are now. MSL gonna be playing mid once again. As you can see, the bank is pretty big on some of those players with Team Dignitas. Not, you know, amazingly, slammingly large, but definitely pretty solid. Tech 9 by Quasi by coming in from Team Astralis. Molotov getting a double kill for Tensky already. Config looking for that third, and it looks like he's gonna get one, but he's immediately refragged by I think that was Zipnix. Yeah, Astralis coming in now with Kerrigan on point, and that is 2 versus 2. HP advantage goes to Astralis, but they gotta get that bomb planted. They've also got some not so bad weaponry, really. I mean, they've got M4s too, so this is kind of a fight where they come out on top. It looks like they opted not to go for the plant, and that's gonna be Kerrigan bringing this back to 1-1. The trade goes as planned, and I think that's him basically going towards bomb site A. I'm a little bit surprised that we don't have the call coming from the call to rotate from who was that just fell with the AWP just now? But Device? No. I'm sorry, it was MSL. It had to, yeah. MSL's the operator on the team. Throws a smoke to block out connector, and it looks like Kerrigan doesn't opt to go for that apartment play. Pop flash into sight. KRB forced to make a bunch of noise. And there it is, an opening. Oh my god, after he starts throwing some junk out there, he opens up and he just can't win the fight. So Device comes out on top, if I read that correctly. Was that Device? So right now, Dignitas taking a staggering lead at this point. Look at this. KRB, I'm sorry, it was KRB who made that final frag, and that was a clutch moment, really. A little bit unfortunate there for Astralis. Right now it's 7-0. I've seen teams come back from 7-0 and win this. At this, I wouldn't say necessarily at this tier, but definitely in professional tournament play. I would not be surprised to see Astralis turn this around, but this is definitely one of those more critical rounds. Off of an eco, they did a lot of economic damage to the Dignitas roster. Forced a near full buy out of the entire team. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily showing, but Rubino, at this moment in time, 30 seconds after the round begins, he's out of utilities. Device now gonna toss that flashbang for B short. He does rotate the corner, but unfortunately MSL just pops away. And MSL jumps around that. Device knows what's there now. He decides, okay, I'm gonna back off for the time being and try and play around that. Dupree now going for A main, while the rest of the team seems to be either stacked around himself or in apartments, and they are getting ready to flow into bomb site A. This might be, you know, one of their only opportunities. They do it without smokes going in, and it's just supposed to be silent entry, loud frags, and it looks like not until we see Dupree get on point do we see the first frag go down. It's Kerrigan now who gets the follow-up, and that's 5 versus 3, 4 versus 3 now as Config gets the refrag. He gets a double refrag, oh my god. Back to 3 versus 3. Through smoke, he manages to land that. Molotovs are tossed, and now Tensky playing through the sniper's nest entrance. He can't do it. It's now 3 versus 1, all in MSL. Can he make this happen? They haven't lost a single round yet. 1 versus 3. He's just diving in there. He says, I am invincible. But Astralis just playing this without taking any risks. Unfortunately, Device just shut down. He's going for the pop smoke on the defuse. Is this real? No, it is not. Zipnix is going to score the first round on the board for his team. Not too bad. I mean, like, solid entry from Astralis there. Config bringing it back to even to 3-3 through smoke. Highlights of the round for sure. So this is, again, basically that key mark moment in the game. Astralis, if they lose this round, then that's their money. Like, that could be the next 2-3 rounds in a row that they lose if they're unable to really gain momentum off the back of that last win. It would be something that they wouldn't be able to recover from, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So now here we are. Device going to be poking up mid just a little bit with that AWP. He's not going to find anything through, I guess you could say, chair crack. I know it sounds like a weird way to call it, but that's where the chair is at mid, where he was just a moment ago. Pop flash entry into B, perhaps. We're waiting for that Molotov to dissipate, and I would not feel very comfortable in that position, really. Connector, if there's a guy in there, he can shoot you. And Device is going to get popped up on box. He's looking for something to hit. He doesn't know how close he has to hitting config, really. MSL takes a little bit of heat somewhere in the background, and that is an anti-entry flash that doesn't do too much coming from config. He does pick up one frag for the time. It's Zipnix, and then he gets refragged. Device, however, takes him down, and that is Dupree making the entry. This is looking like Astralis might be able to take this round. Maybe. 3 versus 1. They've got to learn not to peek. MSL looking away at just the wrong moment. Might have landed something there in the wave of frag. And he's just going for it. He's going straight in. He picks up an M4. 12 bullets in it. He's going to get one. He's looking for the second, but he's forced to reload. Dupree doesn't pop out. Does find someone else, but of course, I believe that was KRB who finished him off, and that is Dupree who's left as the last man standing. They don't know where he is. This is balls of steel, and he gets a double kill to seal it out for his team. Good job by Astralis. Very expensive win, nonetheless. And look at this. Like this, these are some of the highlight moments. Dupree just coming out of smoke. He sees KRB. He knows it's a fake. He doesn't rush it. He does get MSL, and then he gets KRB immediately after. It was balls of steel, really, is what it was. And now it looks like Team Dignitas, their money's finally gone, so they're going to be taking this at a hard eco for the most part. They got a P250 and a Deagle. Those are the only purchases. Of course, there is Kevlar with it, rushing up some sides to try and scramble weapons and get away with it. But just a teeny bit of economic damage, really. Not too much to really reset the pace of the game. Bomb was dropped, and they are also wary of anyone who may be camping that. Cage and B still stacked up in Palace, and it looks like this is going to be a play for bomb site A now that most of the board has been wiped of counter-terrorists. KRB starts it, Device finishes it with the Tech 9 and some blind fire through that window. Config is in a very awkward position right now. He's gonna get one frag through a wall. Headshot through a wall. And initially that wasn't necessarily a fake, but that was someone who thought he was going to have to defend himself. So altogether this costs our Danish terrorist team about $9,400 in the way of a full buy. Very difficult place to come back from if you're on Team Dignitas right now, but it looks like they are going to make something of a full buy. I wouldn't say a quasi buy. No, far from a quasi buy. Sorry about that. What on earth is me calling buys? But you can see that they're again cutting some of those corners to get the utilities out there. No helmets on 2 of the players. 1 for 1 already at B short. That was refragged by MSL after Dupree takes down Tensky. And CT play, well, Cage and B put in an awkward position after he gets flashbanged. Zipnik's going to make one and is immediately brought back to 3v3 with Rubino's silenced them for it. It's going to be MSL playing around stairs. And the bomb's planted. They've got 30 seconds to do something. Here we go. Entry from CT, jungle, and stairs. Smoke planted, or smoke tossed for A main entrance, and that's going to be a rotate into Tetris coming from MSL. He's now waiting for someone. He sees the head, but he's unable to get it. And now the defuse is coming in. Device, oh my god, is Config going to get it? Arrgh! He's forced to actually duel out against 2 guys. Nearly gets the second one, but I don't know if he actually got the second one. Would he have enough time to get the defuse? So, nice try by Team Dignitas, but they are unfortunately set back to eco after this round.
There at the end, so they really have to just push into the site, find those kills quickly. But either way, they get their 4th. That was a tough defense from Dignitas. That strategy for Astralis didn't work out whatsoever. Dupree rushing mid, basically up towards Cat, gets 1 kill, and they're hoping that pulls, a rotator off that A bomb site. But with 3 members still there, it was still a very, very tough take for Astralis.
So All pistol buys coming out from Team Dignitas. Dupree making the opening frag at bomb site B. On paper, this should go to Team Astralis. Already it's 3 versus 5. Flank coming in from MSL, shut down by Kerrigan. Tensky is going to get taken down, and KRB is going to get a nice one shot to the head. And scramble to perhaps survive with an AK-47. Switches to the knife at a bad time, and that's going to be Kerrigan taking him down. A bit unfortunate for Team Dignitas, but it comes back to 7-5 right now, and it looks like it's actually Team Astralis that's building that economy. We'll just have to wait until our observer goes back into tab, and then we'll be able to see where things are at money-wise. Actually, left and right, yeah, some of the Astralis guys are looking pretty hot right now in terms of big banks. They're gonna be having quite the weekend in Vegas, if not Macau. Depends on where they intend to blow some of that dirty esports money, right? 7-5. Astralis now sliding back into this. Device missing that opening shot. It was just that critical moment. Like in Silent Scope, you missed the shot, and then the like that just absolutely epic music. Tensky again missing, I guess you'd say a position to open up on the Dupree, but on the whole not too terribly severe. Rubino nearly burning to death, however, might set things back to close to even. At this moment, Team Astralis just looking and thinking to themselves, okay, so where do we enter for the time being? It's looking like it might be mid to A, just simply based on the premise that no one is on B, but Tensky is waiting for anyone who might be trying to go into connector. He's already jumped into ladder room from the cinder blocks he was sitting on. CT spawn, there has been a spotting onto Dupree. Now MSL is looking for something. It's back to 4 versus 4 now with Dupree taking down Tensky in ladder room. Aims for the head, unfortunately hits the feet from MSL. That's one very low HP T on Team Astralis, and it's just going to depend on where the bullets land. 20 seconds to go, and that's going to be Kerrigan opening up on a Rubino. Cajun B getting MSL. It's now 1 versus 4, all in config. That bomb will be planted, and I think he's going to opt for a save. On the whole, like, definitely a solid entry coming from Astralis. They got the bomb planted, and now it's looking like config is looking for some way to survive this. He's just been... I couldn't be sure if that was a bunny hop out of apartments, but it was... I think even he knew it. It was a little bit hopeless for him to try and survive that. Just immediately gets collapsed on. On the whole, really, I mean, as you can hear from the casters in the background, Dignitas kind of losing grip on this match, just a little bit. On the whole, really, like, they had a very hot start, but both sides are actually approaching the threshold score for this map. I mean, if Astralis were to take the next 2 rounds in a row, it'd put them at 8-7, and if Team Dignitas were to just take one of those 2 rounds, then that wouldn't be too bad either, really. I mean, from both sides, you're looking at if you're assuming a perfectly even 50-50% win rate from T and CT, then that's basically how the score would look. But there's a chance that Team Dignitas could take this to 8 points or even 9 points, and Astralis could, just get stuck where they are right now. It'd be a little bit sour for them, but the question is, will we see that happen here in the coming moments, the unfolding moments of this round? We do have Dupree. He's just ready to just peek and poke on through connector. He's been hopping around through it. He does find Rubino, and that is going to be an entry smoke onto jungle. Gonna just be playing around that smoke, and already it's 3 CTs taken down. Astralis gonna get the bomb planted. 2 versus 5. I mean, really, I think the best thing that we can see Team Dignitas hope to do is save those weapons. Dupree and company might end up going CT hunting. Indeed, that will be the case, and that's Tensky being taken down with... I don't think he even made one of those bullets land. I think Dupree took a little bit of damage from something else at a different point in time. It's now left to config to basically try and save that M4. It's difficult to say the very least, but I mean, with this kind of case being made, Astralis definitely making a big bank. If they manage to lose, say, 2 more guys, then That would be the complete opposite of where they want to be. And Zipnix is determined to chase down Config. He's gonna get one, unfortunately Config. Oh, gonna get the other, but he does actually lose his head in the end. So still making it an expensive-ish win for Terrace, more so than it actually needs to be. Once you stop and look at the exchange there, the trade, it probably wasn't worth it in the eyes of Terrace, but at the same time, Astralis got what they were looking for. Final round, I mean, like, here we are there. They're just, I guess they had too much money to work with anyway. So, 2 AWPs coming on from T side is a little bit awkward, but it probably signals that they're going to be playing somewhat passively. They do have the firepower advantage, of course. Not just in the way of AWPs, but just the essence that all terrorist weapons do more damage per minute. Assuming that all the bullets in those clips actually impact on something. It's hard to explain, but long story short, they've got the firepower advantage. Back to 4 versus 3, however, as we got Tensky evening things up at mid. This might be the round that Team Dignitas takes and puts on the board for themselves. It's going to be Dupree, now stuck behind box. He's entered and he's in an awkward spot for the time being. He does get walled a teeny bit. It looks like he's going to be aided by Kerrigan, but Rubino's going to take that guy down, and that's KRB sealing things out. Team Dignitas, you know, I mean, they won 7 rounds in a row, they lost 7 rounds in a row, and then they took the final round of the first half. Stay tuned to see how the second half goes, guys. We'll be back in a minute.